with love and gratitude to all the lovely people across the world. Today I am going to talk about energy associated with shapes and English alphabets with few examples and not the typical way in which it is talked in science. All that I am going to talk in this video is the knowledge gained from the society and my personal observations and experiences in life. This video is not intended to question the thinking of anyone but to give a different viewpoint. Any mention, directly or indirectly, while giving examples, is not to question the thought or the idea of a person or organization, but just to give a different perspective on energy. All that I will talk will definitely help not only the general people, but even the corporates to make certain decisions, particularly when they are designing their logo and naming the product. So let me get started. One thing is clear, everything in this universe has energy in some form, and there is connection between various forms of energy. Most of my talk will be based on experience and knowledge acquired that curvatures or circular shapes act as generation or storage or conservation of energy, and that sharp, narrow, pointed shapes act as point of draining the energy. Let me explain this with various examples. Let us first understand with the example of shivling. If you carefully observe the shape of a shivling, it has curvature from all sides, and there are no sharp edges or narrowing of shape in any area. Hence, it is said that this is the best shape on earth in which energy is not lost but stored forever. Its shape is almost like a flame of a lamp, hence also called Jyotirling. To understand from energy point of view, let me give an analogy by comparing Shivling with nuclear reactor which generates tremendous energy in limited space. Also, just as nuclear reactor needs constant cooling with water, the same can be observed on Shivling. You must have noticed that people while performing puja and when they are doing pradakshina of Shivling, they will never cross the outlet from where the water is flowing from the Shivling. This is similar to the water discharged from nuclear reactor which is harmful, hence avoided. So friends, with this example, we can understand the correlation between energy and curvature. Now let us take the example of human body and understand the various shapes. The upper half portion of our body shape is curvature for most of the area, and hence it acts as generation and storage of energy. Let me explain a little. Our head is almost circular and it has mouth through which we eat, which acts as input for producing energy with the help of stomach. It also has nose through which we breathe, and it helps to build energy by means of oxygen and lungs. In this way, the upper half portion of our body helps to produce and store energy. But if we observe the lower half of our body, it is generally taper or pointed at nails. Hence, they act as areas of energy drainage. The organ for reproduction, which drains the maximum energy, is in the lower half. All the nails act as drain point. Similarly, you can observe the other lower body parts. You will find that they all drain the energy in some form. So from this example, we can understand how energy is affected by shapes. Let us understand the same point through planets. You must have studied that all planets are generally having curvature all over. Hence, all the energy that it carries always remain within it and it is not drained. Therefore, its shape helps in self-sustenance. Similarly, let me give you two more examples before talking about alphabets. In tall towers, in order to avoid damages from lightning and the energy that it carries, a lightning rod, which is narrow and pointed, is used to drain the energy to the ground. Also, you must have observed the shape of the temple dome having curvature, which helps to restore the energy. Likewise, friends, you can observe in your day to day life various shapes and how it is associated with energy. Now, let me talk on energy related to English alphabets, which may help you in various ways in your life, and also the corporates while designing their logo or naming their product. Please note, everything in this universe has some form of energy. Similarly, every alphabet has its own energy and it depends on the manner in which it is designed or the combination of usage. As stated earlier, curvatures act as energy storage and pointed and narrow shapes act as energy draining points. With this background, let us observe the English alphabets from A to Z. From all the alphabets, O is the self-sustaining alphabet in which the energy is not drained, just as in the planets. Let me give an example to prove the point. You must have observed that some of the famous and best brands of vehicles have their logo designed inside the circular shape, which does not allow the energy of the logo to drain out. Please note, if the logo design is such that it involves many sharp edges and less curvature due to any reason, try to put the same inside a circle which will avoid continuous draining of energy. Moving further, the other two alphabets after O that are preferred, having curvature without any open end, are D and B. After the three alphabets mentioned, the other curvature shape alphabets preferred are U, P, S, C. So while deciding the shape of your logo or deciding the name of your product, try to select it on the basis of curvature. Let me now explain the most energy draining alphabet, which is X. When written in normal way, you will observe that a line cuts each other, which means the energy is cut into half by itself and hence the energy is drained fast. Therefore, one should try to avoid using X at the start of the name as it will reduce the energy by half. If you don't have choice, this can be still modified in design by giving the curvature shape and not cutting each other as shown by me in the sketch. This reminds me of an automobile company which had launched its product in the year 2009, in which the name was starting with X and the design of the X was such that it was cutting into each other. Even though the product was technically very good, it did not do much in the market compared to the same company's other product in which X was used in the name but not at the start. Also, the design of X was such that it was not cutting into each other but having gap as shown by me earlier. Please note, all such products with gap in design of X are doing excellent for that company even after 20 years of the launch of the product. Point to note, while naming the product, try to use alphabets with curvature at the start and at the end. This will help to restore the energy of the name. If at the end O is used, it is the best. Friends, because of any reason your design or naming demands to have alphabets with pointed edges like say V, M, W, one can make them curved at the sharp areas to avoid major energy loss. You can see the same in the sketch shown on your screen. As an example to prove my point, I remember of an automobile company which has its product name as that of a dance form, starting with alphabet B and ending with O, and the product is doing excellent for the company. Please remember, not only that, as per numerology, the product's name and the company's name also match. So this is the best example of combination of numerology and curved alphabet. So friends, to conclude, make use of curvatures in the design of your logo or naming of your product. Also try to use preferred curved alphabets as I mentioned earlier, and try to use O at the end to conserve the energy of the name. Also, if for any reason X is to be used at the start or at any place, please design it with gap as shown earlier. I think I have made my point explaining with various examples to prove that curvatures help in storing of energy, whereas sharp, narrow, pointed areas act as draining point of energy. Hoping that many corporates and general people will make use of this information in the right spirit. So friends, thank you for your valuable time. See you again with some new topic. Till then, conserve all your energies in every form and live a blissful life.